This is round 5 of that tournament. Now, referee Bronco Lubich has here in his hand these beautiful world-class championship belts that will be awarded after the finals to the winning tag team. That's after the finals, which is still ahead. Once again, this is round 5. I will first introduce the team behind me. This tag team from points unknown at 265 pounds, the Spoiler. His teammate tonight from Los Angeles, California at 245 pounds, Al Madril. Their opponents tonight, presented by Gary Hart, a combined weight of 751 pounds, King Kong Bundy and Bugsy McGraw. David Manning and Bronco Lubich in the ring.
All right, we got a huge amount of talent in the ring right now. And Frank Dusek has come down to sit with us. Frank is going to be involved in tag team adventures. We'll talk about that. You're teaming up with Ken Mantell, is that right?
That's most certainly right. You know, Ken Mantell is the former junior heavyweight champion of the world, the man who beat Danny Hodge. And he's assured me he's going to be here. Now, I've talked to matchmaker Ed Watt. We were scheduled to be in this match right here against some other opponents. But Mantell's coming in from the coast with the weather as it is. He's not here right now, but he's assured me he's going to be here. And Kenny's never been one to let me down. I would like you to do a favor for me, if you would. Please refer to me by the title that I like to be referred to, and that is Captain.
Captain Dusek, all right.
Free-fall match with a 45-minute time limit.
And, of course, this is one of the fifth round of competition for the world-class tag team championship.
Yeah. What a tournament it's been. It's been all over the United States. There have been matches in Tampa. There have been matches in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, Minneapolis, Charlotte, Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth. We're up to the 5th round, and there aren't too many of us left. I'm really quite flattered that Kenny and I are here. I certainly hope things work out well.
Well, we have, as Gary Hart has so pointed out in our interview, that here is probably one of the largest tag teams in the 751 pounds of McGraw and Bundy. Of course, the interesting thing, I think, there, Frank, is that it's only one at a time anyway, isn't it? Or Captain Dusek.
Well, it most certainly is. But, you know, McGraw and Bundy have well, McGraw countered very well there. Spoiler tried to use an oriental arm drag that he uses as kind of a wrist drag, but McGraw got the weight down and countered it. You know, when they get in that ring, you've got Bugsy McGraw, a man who I've known for a long, long time. Go back to Portsmouth Naval Hospital many years ago. Very unpredictable when it cost Big Daddy Bundy, King Kong Bundy, as he's referred to now. Well, what do you say about a man that weighs 450 pounds, except he's awesome?
It's very difficult to move people around that size. The Spoiler right now works on McGraw. We have the Spoiler and Al Madril teaming up against Bundy and McGraw.
If this team has one weakness, though, Bill, it's the fact that they lack speed.
Yeah.
They do lack speed, definitely.
Now, I did want to ask you, too, and the continuing problem between you, and we'll just mention this and then let it go, you and Wild Bill Irwin. Now, I understand you still have 20% of his contract, so if any bout, let's say he should happen to qualify for that World Championship bout with Ric Flair, would you get 20% of the gate on that?
I have 20% of Wild Bill Irwin's contract. Whether he wins, loses, draws, no matter what title he wins, no matter what title he loses, Captain Frank Dusek gets a check in the mail from World Class Sports, from whatever wrestling promotion it is, for 20% of that man's check. And there's nothing he or anybody else can do about it. If he wants to take it to a court of law, possession is 9 points of the law, and I have possession of the contract.
Well, we've seen that so many times in managerial contractual agreements, and that some of those are very ironclad, and I was being sure the man of your abilities, your acumen in business, you would have that ironclad deal.
I most certainly do. My lawyer spent a great deal of time making certain that contract was just so that I wouldn't have a problem like this.
Well, there's the move now with King Kong Bundy coming in, McGraw taking the tag. Now McGraw now working outside the ring, going over to talk to Gary Hart, while Bundy takes those forearm blasts from the Spoiler, and Al Madril is still waiting for his chance to get in.
Well, now, if the Spoiler and Al Madril are going to win this match, Bill, they're going to have to tag in and out. This Spoiler is a roughhouser. Man I brought back into the country, I might add, and he's a man, an explosive individual. Gary Hart brought him in here originally, had him barred from the country. I went to a great deal of expense to bring him back. I don't necessarily approve of him as a man, but you have to approve of him with his style.
If I may ask you another personal question here, what's happened to all your stable, your group of wrestlers that's sort of fallen apart?
Well, my army here in Texas has had certain problems, but I still maintain wrestlers throughout the country.
All right, here comes Madrill now, and Al, who is not the size, of course, of these others, but has that great ability to move quickly and fire hard shots like that. He's involved now with King Kong Bundy.
Like most Latin wrestlers, Bill, Al Madrill has a very hot temper. He's a very gifted wrestler, very agile wrestler, a man who shows both the American and the Latin moves, as well as a little boxing skill and ability. And right now, that temper has got big King Kong Bundy, quite frankly, befuddled. But Bundy's not a man to be toyed with lightly.
Well, Bundy would have to just move in on a guy like this and smother him. And Madrill is out with his fist. And McGraw leaning over the ropes, giving some advice. Madrill has found one thing to do, and I think it's probably wise, is to keep the pressure on. And right here, with those sledgehammer blows, Bundy has neutralized Madrill for a moment. Here comes McGraw.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, Bill, they don't call this man Bugsy because he went to college. Look at him.
I was going to ask you, you said he was in the Portsmouth Naval Hospital. Was it a ward that he probably needed some psychological treatment?
That's Bugsy's personal thing, and it's not something that I really want to discuss here on the air.
Well, McGraw is working it over right now in the corner. Well, Bugsy has an interesting manner about it.
He has a style that's all his own. There's no denying.
I think sometimes I like that. I think he thinks he's Superman. We'll see. As Madrill takes McGraw now here in our first ball, the best 2 out of 3. This is a part of that world-class American Tag Team Championship, a 6-round competition, and the championship will be decided next week in Lawton, Oklahoma.
That's right. I certainly hope to be in the finals there in Lawton, Oklahoma, along with some other business that I have to take care of there.
I was going to ask you, other than yourself and Mantell, would you pick as the most logical favorite?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this team of Spoiler and Al Madrill and Bundy and Bugsy here, I quite frankly thought this might have been one of the finals. If
I did too,
a couple of teams, the teams that I thought were going to be in, some of them, such as the Samoans, the Briscoes, the Funks, they've all been eliminated. So, quite frankly, it's anybody's guess at this point who's going to be in the finals. I wouldn't want to waste any money right now. I'm not certain.
By McGraw, a little late falling on an elbow. And that's where McGrill has the advantage in quickness.
You know, this is where McGraw will surprise you. He does all the crazy things that he does, and all of a sudden he comes up with a wrestling move, a snap mare, which caught Al Madrill completely off guard. Normally, a normal wrestler would have never caught Al Madrill with that move, but he was prepared for Bugsy's usual frontal attack, and quite frankly, I think he was caught flat-footed.
Oh, Bugsy. Taking a look, moving around. And again, he missed from the drop. Well, as you pointed out early, speed and quickness might be the undoing of the big man here.
It definitely will, and it paid off there. I think maybe Al Madrill will with that move just for the opportunity of doing just what he did there, moving out of the way, causing a little injury. Now, if Al was smart, I think he would go back to that leg. No, he's got a different plan of attack.
Well, we're talking about quickness on the move, and McGraw moved quite well, and he pounds away now.
Now, this is where Bugsy McGraw becomes Bugsy McGraw right here. He'll not give the man a breather. You notice he never lets up. He pays no attention to the officials. He pays no attention to anything. He never lets up.
And so he's going to turn it over to King Kong Bundy. Puts 450 pounds in there.
Bundy has certainly come a long way from a big fat boy in the crowd to what he is today.
And he owes all of that. Oh, what a hug.
Oh, he owes this to H&H Enterprises.
McGraw working the ropes over there to keep Spoiler from standing on the ropes over here as King Kong Bundy exercises all that strength on Al Madrill, trying to squeeze the life out of him.
You know, it's very early in the match, and you don't realize when a man the size of King Kong Bundy wraps those arms around and puts that pressure in on the lungs, it'll take your breath away from you, Bill. And you've been there breathing hard anyway. He's been wrestling now a better part of 5, 7, 8 minutes. The length of a good amateur match. and this will definitely take the wind out of you, take the wind right out of your sails.
And he goes right to work. They're going to stage it. That keeps him fresh. Gives McGrill all the problems, and McGraw stays right on top of him. Got an arm whip here.
You know, Bugsy and Bundy have begun to work more and more as a team. You've noticed many more tags than when I first saw them earlier in the tournament. Early in the tournament, they were wrestling like two individual wrestlers, but I notice now that they're beginning to tag in and out and wrestling more and more as a team.
Maybe Coach Hussein has helped them on that.
Oh, I definitely imagine that Coach Hussein has helped them. The Honorable Armand Hussein is a man gifted in all styles of wrestling, and I'm certain that I can see some of his influence in their wrestling.
And Al Madrill is fighting back, battling on Bugsy, and he is doing a job. Here comes the spoiler. What a move. What a move.
Get the big man into the ring, and here he comes. The spoiler's in town with the best of them.
A toe-to-toe conflict right now. Good forearm smash. Another. Here comes the spoiler. There's the tag, and here comes Bundy. This would be a great championship match right here.
This most certainly would. This most certainly would have been a great championship match indeed.
Oh, Bundy still managed to hold his feet. Here comes the spoiler. An opening, a chance.
This is what the spoiler needed. He's got the big man days, and he goes to work in the typical spoiler fashion up onto those ropes.
Watch this drop down.
This is where the spoiler's at his best right here, up on those ropes, doing those things he does oh so well.
Coming off with tremendous, tremendous force, but still Bundy holds his feet. Bundy is a tough man to bring down. Got to try for a claw hold, but it didn't work, and Bundy fights it off with that tremendous strength. And look here. Oh. And a try for the slam.
You know, this Bundy, for all he is, he's a very gifted man. To move that much weight that gracefully, what he's done is he's sat down, he's lowered his center of balance, and quite frankly, there isn't a weightlifter in the country that can lift 400 pounds if he catches him and gets centered down like he did. There's not a man in the country that can lift him if he's set for it.
Even Andre.
I don't even think Andre the Giant can do it unless he's set for it.
Well, Bundy has opened it up now, and he has the spoiler in trouble.
Here's another tag, just what we're talking about.
Yelling over there behind you was Gary Hart giving instructions. So, you're right, though. Bundy and McGraw have really pulled together here as a team, and that's got to be some coaching because they're both kind of independent.
Very much so, Bugsy in particular. It's good to see this is the only chance they have to win a tag team tournament is to wrestle as a tag team. But the
Whoa, here we go.
Spoiler's never a man to be counted out. Never a man to be considered out until like Dizzy D said, it ain't over until it's over.
Now there's the slam, and there's where the spoiler can have it. Watch him work the ropes now. McGraw looking at him. Here comes McGraw. They're going to meet. Oh, he caught him. Oh, he caught him and threw him out there. Now it'll be Bundy.
You notice Bundy blocking him, keeping the tag away. Keep the tag away.
A double. Body butt. Bundy, 450 pounds, down on top. 1, 2, 3, and Bundy and McGraw win the first fall. Oh, spectacular work. Teaming up McGraw and Bundy on the spoiler for the first fall.
In 11 minutes, 4 seconds, Bugsy McGraw, King Kong Bundy win the first fall.
We shall be back for the second fall right after this.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Spoiler and Al Madrill can come back from this one-fall deficit, but I certainly wouldn't count them out of the running at this point.
Oh, here we are back for the second fall now. Captain Frank Disick is sitting in with me. And we have seen a combination of bulk and ability in Bundy and McGraw to come through and win that first fall.
You know, a lot of people, they don't agree with the style that the Honorable Armand Hussein and Gary Hart and, of course, Bugsy McGraw and King Kong Bundy have. They don't agree with a lot of people's styles, but you certainly can't take away, you hit on the word, ability. And you can't take away ability. These two men, for all of their whatever you think of them personally or professionally, they do have a great deal of ability. And that's something that Gary Hart and Armand Hussein have managed to bring out in both these men, is their ability.
And here we go with the second fall. Of course, the same two who finished the first and started. And Spoiler undoubtedly a little shaken, trying to recover. Slow getting started. Trying to spin out of that wrist lock. Comes back, gets his own on Bundy. And rips it on the left arm of Bundy as Al Madrill watches from his corner. Spoiler. One thing that impresses me about the Spoiler all the time, Captain Busick, is his magnificent physical conditioning. He must work at that constantly. He is one of the better conditioned wrestlers.
He depends a great deal on conditioning as well as wrestling ability, and that conditioning gives him a great deal of resiliency. He's able to come back, as you saw right there, after losing that first fall, getting caught between 750 pounds. He still managed to come back, keep from getting beat, finish up and get the tag to Al Madrill.
And Madrill now with a leg drop, or arm pop rather, as Bundy was counted on because he pulled the hair. Hart is giving instructions behind Captain Busick.
I have been the recipient of that drop right there. I have been the recipient of that 450-pound drop right there, Bill Mercer, and I'm going to tell you that unless you're in good shape, that thing will rip your arm right out of the socket. And that Kong lays that 400 pounds down on there, and you think your whole world's coming to an end.
But Kong is working right now on Al Madrill. Of course, this team would like to win the first two falls and put this one away rather quickly.
It would definitely be a morale builder if these two if they could win this two straight from a team like Al Madrill. Oh, he missed that one.
Nice move by Madrill. He timed it perfectly. And that's going to shake up Bundy a bit. But Bundy's going to make one final blow and then move in with McGraw. And here comes the jumping jack.
You notice, you call him the jumping jack, but don't ever sell him short. Bugsy may be a little bit bugsy, but he's certainly tough. This is what I mean now. You notice it's an attack from all points. Feet, arms, he comes kicking, clawing, biting, chewing, and cussing. But he comes at him. He comes at him all the time. Never lets him have a breather.
Well, he's a little carried away right now. A little carried away right now, isn't he? Bug-eyed, Bugsy. He's got Madrill wrapped up, twisted. And Madrill, right?
Bugsy McGraw in that ring always works the psychological attack as well as a physical. He's like Muhammad Ali, constantly talking to his men. This is something that I like to do in the ring. It keeps the man off guard, doesn't allow him to think, because, wrestling is like a game of human chess. You're thinking for moves and moves ahead of moves, counter moves. He's taking 3 or 4 moves down the line. And by talking to your opponent, if you have the mental capacity to talk to your opponent and wrestle at the same time, often it'll throw him off, just like talking to a man playing chess or golf or any other sport. There they are. You notice Bugsy holds Madrill in place until Kong gets in. Kong delivers a blow, all done between the 5 count, which is perfectly legal in professional wrestling.
So Kong has Madrill. Madrill looking for help from Spoiler. He's taking a pummeling out here.
They're staying on that arm, one of the 5 points of balance. You have the 2 arms and 2 legs from the head, your 5 points of balance. And right now they're working on Al Madrill's arm. Unless Madrill can get that tag in, they're in serious trouble, though.
Madrill and Spoiler has got to figure out a way to come back. McGraw is helping out. Here comes Spoiler in. He's going to work on Bundy for a second. Just to give him a little evening up shot in the eyes.
This is a team right here. You notice one man incapacitated, Bugsy outside the ring. Keeps Al Madrill from making the tag. You may not agree with it, but it's certainly an effective tactic.
Spoiler's gone all the way around to get a shot on McGraw. And
now
Madrill is over here.
Tag.
Spoiler going to his corner. Here's the tag, and it's okay. Nice turn around by the Spoiler. Spoiler moving in on.
This is what they needed to get that first man in. Here goes the Spoiler to work.
What a blow. He lets it go from right field, left field, and really putting on the effort now. When the Spoiler is in trouble, that's when he gets the toughest. And he is tough right now.
You notice that? Bundy hooked, scooped the leg, a single leg, couldn't get the Spoiler down. Grapevine the second leg, and down the Spoiler went. I don't think the Spoiler was prepared for an amateur wrestling move like that from King Kong Bundy. Bundy uses that weight to just power the Spoiler back into that corner. Got him bent down. As long as he can keep the Spoiler bent over, he's not going to do him any harm at all. The Spoiler's tactics require, his wrestling skills require Steady. Ooh.
Spoiler stepped right into a blow by McGraw. And that could be tough. Look at McGraw bounce to get ready to go. Comes right in and picks it up.
The spoilers tactics usually come from above. That's his specialty. And as long as they can keep the spoiler net over. Oh! McGraw telegraphed that one, and the spoiler got to it rather well.
Spoiler working on McGraw. This might be the opening he needs to take care of McGraw, where Bundy would be a bigger problem. Up and over.
Oh, there's three pounds crashing to the mat.
McGraw now, like a shipwreck. Ship on the ocean, flashing about.
But not dazed enough to move from that claw. You know, there's one thing that you respect with the spoiler, and that's its claw above all else.
Here comes Bundy back in now as McGraw was shaken, has to rest a second. And Bundy takes over with Spoiler now. Doubling up.
You notice when the tag came, though, McGraw held on to the tight until Bundy got into the ring. Here he is. They've let him get on the ropes. This is what you can't let the spoiler do right here. That's what you can't let him do.
He's got him on the claw.
Now, the referee should be counting him off that rope. The referee, he should have a 5 count to come off that rope.
There it is, the Spoiler with a claw, the head claw. He's lost it because Bundy put on that tremendous... And Bundy's going to take a rest, and here comes McGraw back in. Oh, McGraw! Dive!
Whoa, he missed it.
That got Gary Hart up. He looked very disgusted over that move. And the Spoiler working off the rope, comes driving in with a knee. We got to have a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and Bundy too late.
Bundy wasn't quick enough into the ring to break it up, and it's over. It's 1 fall apiece.
Hart was particularly disgusted when McGraw
Exactly 8
came
minutes
off the rope.
Spoiler, and now the drills draw even in fall number 2. Third and deciding fall coming up.
That's a fall apiece. We'll be back for the third and deciding fall in a moment. And we're back now with the third deciding fall. We must reiterate again that this is a part of the world-class American Tag Team Championship competition in the 5th round. And the finals are next week in Lawton, Oklahoma. And that's McGraw. And this is Spoiler going to work on a head claw.
He's got the claw. This might be it right here. This might advance him to the sixth semifinal round right here if he gets this.
So Spoiler working on McGraw right now. McGraw trying to pull him off with the trunk. Trying to do anything he possibly can. McGraw flailing, flashing, desperate to get out of this. And look at that tremendous strength of the Spoiler.
When the Spoiler gets his hold on, Bill, you do anything you can. No matter what it is, you need to do it to get out of that hole, because the longer he keeps it, the darker things become.
McGraw certainly has not expended all of his energy so far, but he is valiantly and working as hard as he can to come out of that, but beginning to lose some of his strength, even though he's smashing on the Spoiler. Bundy and McGraw won the first fall. Spoiler came back and won the second fall, and McGraw is getting weaker and weaker. Bundy looking more and more concerned. Gary Hart is looking concerned, and here is Armand Hussein coming up behind you.
I don't know what's going on here.
Hussein and Gary Hart having a conversation right down here to our left. There's a count of...
Now, here's something you don't see very often. I don't know how good a strategy this is, but normally you don't put generals in midstream. And what we have here, Gary Hart has gone back to the dressing room. You know, world-class wrestling has allowed only one manager at a time out here. Hart has gone back, and now Armand Hussein is out here. I don't know if this is a good strategy or not. They had a little conference. There's something amiss.
Or something afoot. Whatever it might be, I don't think it's without some plan. Hussein now talking to Bugsy McGraw as Hussein comes in to replace Gary Hart as coach, manager, and principal confidant. Oh, did Bugsy take off? Look out! Spoiler drives into the corner, and Spoiler is in terrible trouble now. Spoiler missed the quarterbucker when diving in. He also missed Bundy.
I think Spoiler was surprised by Bundy's speed right there. You know, Bundy, not necessarily a fast man, is a very quick man for a short distance. I think he was surprised by his quickness.
The whistler is Hussein. You'll hear that whistle now and then. Spoiler tried to lift Bundy. See his right arm cupped under his waist and around his legs. He's trying to get him up. It's an impossible thing to do.
Not a good strategy for the man the size of Bundy. Perhaps earlier in the match, but I don't think it's a third fall of a match as hardly contested as this one that I try to slam a man 450 pounds. Here comes Al McGrill. That Latin temper is definitely fired right here.
Oh, there goes Bundy to the mat.
Like selling a giant redwood, Bill.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, but they fall. And McGrill heard a machine gun attack. Ripping Bundy, fighting hard. Hussein with his little whistle. He's complaining about the fist. McGrill working inside like a boxer and doing quite a job on the inside and on the jaw. Snapped off right there. Bundy drops it. 450 pounds on the neck. Bundy comes down. Bundy goes in the air before McGrill. Is set. Now
He's going for the figure four. He's going for the figure four. This might be it right here. He's got it. He's got the figure four. He's got the figure four. This could be it right here. Spoiler intercepted him. It might be over right here. This might be over right here. Look at Hussein. He's in the ring. He's got that ring on his hand. He's got a ring on his hand. There's the street shoes.
Here comes McGraw.
There's the tag. McGraw's in. This might...
On top. I don't think
That's it. That's it.
three, and this was...
King Kong Bundy.
Well, you got to say that
Bugsy McGraw advanced in the tournament. No.
Porter and McGrill were robbed.
You're going to have to excuse me at this
5
point.
minutes and 6 seconds. The winners of the match, Bugsy McGraw, King Kong Bundy. No question about it. No question about it. Porter and McGrill were robbed. Hussein is leaving. And McGraw and Bundy will move on. Hussein now being asked by the referee if he moved in. He says no. And David Manning rushing out as they're the losers. Spoiler and Al McGrill. Well, I don't know if that could be straightened out or not, but it's a tough loss for them. They had it right in their grasp, and it got away. And we'll be back. And we're going to be talking to...
Evening, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is for the American Heavyweight Championship, a one-fall match with a 6-minute time limit. I will introduce the challenger for the belt first. Gary Hart presents the man from Singapore at 235 pounds, the great Kabuki. His opponent tonight from Lake Dallas, Texas at 260 pounds, your defending American Heavyweight Champion, the modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich.
Folks, my dad couldn't be here tonight. He had to be out of town, so I kind of brought him with me myself. In case Gary Hart here has some ideas about permanently injuring my brother, like he said last week. Well, these tape fists, if you're wondering what they're for, they're to make sure that doesn't happen.
David Manning, your referee.
Right here to bring you a part of the Kabuki and Kevin Von Erich battle. And this was a dandy that's the main event tonight for the American Heavyweight Championship. You see that Kevin is dressed in white workout pants tonight. Kerry Von Erich. Kevin's got to be in Kerry's corner. Kerry all set here, and Kevin's got his hands taped just in case he needs it. Look, we got the green mist flying in the air, and with Kevin with his taped fist and Gary Hart over here on the other side of the ring, I imagine Gary will be a bit more hesitant to get involved. So here for the American Heavyweight Championship, Kerry Von Erich and the great Kabuki. Kabuki moving, working. Kerry is tremendously quick, always ready to defend his championship. Upset because Ric Flair won't defend his World Heavyweight Championship. Where's Kerry? Kevin walking around the other side, setting his chair so he can watch Gary Hart. Good move by Kerry Von Erich, dropping in on the leg. Watch the great Kabuki here. He takes a lot of punishment, comes right back with his own. By the way, we were speaking of Paris. There was supposed to be, or scheduled to be, big-time wrestling in Paris on next Saturday night. But due to the tragedy that town has suffered, the devastation, particularly the loss of life, that series of matches will be postponed until June the 5th. And our hearts and hopes go out to all our good friends in Paris as they rebuild and restructure their lives in their city. One of the most thriving and friendly areas in the state of Texas. Kerry Von Erich defending his American championship against the great Kabuki as Kevin Von Erich watches. David Manning, the referee, and Gary Hart stalking the outside of the ring. Natalie dressed tonight in herringbone sport coat. Kevin is dressed for battle, though. Kerry. Twisting the wrist. Kabuki moves in. There goes Kerry. Whoa! Look at that shoulder lift. Kabuki twisted. Picked up, handled by Kerry Von Erich. Really going to work on him. Kabuki looking over his shoulder now at Gary Hart. There you see him. He's watching. Well, a lot of great things are happening. You saw a part of the competition, the quarterfinals of the American World-Class Tag Team Tournament. Move inside by Kabuki. What a kick. A thrust kick into the neck of Kerry Von Erich. And Kabuki opens up now. Judo shot to the head. So we got that coming up with the finals in Lawton. We've got a big six-man tag team here Monday night at the Will Rogers Complex next door. And we also have the Texas Heavyweight Championship. And right now we have Kabuki and Kerry Von Erich battling for the American Championship. Another great thrust kick by Kabuki. Kevin Von Erich upset watching the spinning Kabuki. That just about winds it up.